Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon OmegaRuby. I'm your host, ThePikaWu. In the last episode, if you couldn't already tell, we made our way here to Lava Ridge City, or town, and we took on the gym and its gym leader, Flannery. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be heading back to Petalburg City to kind of take on our father's gym, and as well, of course, our father. That is going to consist, that's pretty much what this entire episode is going to comprise of. Before we go any further into this, obviously we're going to be getting the go-go goggles, so we would be able to go into Route 111 right now. We do get the option to just instantly teleport to Petalburg, however, so we're going to do that first. And then I think because we get teleported back to Mauville after we're done battling our father, we'll probably head north instead of heading in the direction that we're supposed to head in, and then take on everything that we can there, so that way that's done and out of the way that we couldn't do before. So we'll be doing that, and then we'll be making more progress through the story, you know, from that point on. So, yeah, another thing I want to kind of talk about is, I'm probably going to be giving a move tutor move to Swablu. I'm not entirely sure. I have to remember what all moves like it gets specifically, because I don't know if I have a Swablu that I can just check it on right now. But I know for a fact that if it can, I would like to give it Hyper Voice, and that's probably one of the very few things that I would do like a trade thing for, because I'm sure a lot of people kind of just heard my DS start up, but sorry about that if you did. But yeah, that's like one of the few things that I'd really like to do is add a, you know, move tutor move onto at least Swablu, because it's going to need Hyper Voice. I'm sure it's already been spoiled that everyone knows that Mega Altaria is the thing. So I almost said Mega Swablu, which would be hilarious, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that's basically going to be our team's Mega. I don't really like the idea of using Mega Metagross, because if I'm not mistaken, it did lose speed. I don't remember. Maybe it did gain speed, but at the same time, I'm just not a huge fan of Mega Metagross, in all honesty. And I mean, normal Metagross is just pretty cool. So I don't know. It's just what I'm going to be kind of, you know, going with anyways. I might Mega Evolve it at one point or another, because I mean, why the hell not? But, well, to be fair, we won't have the Altaria, I think is how it's called, for the Mega Altaria thing. We aren't going to get that until much later anyways, so Metagross is definitely going to be one of our Megas. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to give the Swampert to Swampert or not, just in case I actually need to Mega Evolve him instead. But those will be our two like instant go-to Megas for a while until we manage to get the Altaria. We might even see Altaria leave the team at some point, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm really going to do that or not. So, I mean, things are still kind of subject to change. Speaking of subject to change, the overlay may change within the next week, so that's something to kind of look forward to. I will be putting on probably social media buttons, as well as having a little bit more of a different overlay. It won't be like this, it'll be a little bit more. So I don't know, we'll have to see. It'll probably be within like the next week, but we'll have to, again, see how it plays out. Because honestly, I feel like I rushed this one, and I really didn't like the fact that I did that. So I mean, like, I just wanted to kind of work on a new one, and I've kind of started working on a new one, so that'll be kind of what we end up going with. But I mean, yeah. Also, I'm sure that people have already noticed that we're kind of going back and forth through the rooms. The reason for this is because there are obviously other trainers that you can battle here, despite the fact that you open up rooms. You can still go back into other rooms and go into rooms that, you know, are already open or whatever, because you beat a previous trainer or something and battle them. Or maybe you didn't, you know, use the other room, so you just go back through the room that you went into and then go back into the other room that you didn't go into, and you can still battle them. So that's part of the reason for all of that, I guess. So, I mean, just something to kind of keep in mind. Again, that cold weather just, you know, messing with my throat. But, yeah, so we're going to be making sure that we take on all of the underlings in this gym, so that way we don't have to worry about it. But, I mean, it's not that difficult, really. It really shouldn't, like, seem difficult at all for anyone. I mean, really, it's all normal types, and not to mention that a good, like, I'm not entirely sure if I think all of them do, but I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. I don't really remember because we can pay attention enough to check and see. But I'm pretty sure that almost all, if not all, of the underlings use an item at the very beginning of the battle. So if you do happen to have Power Up Punch, like if you had picked it up at Mauville, it's pretty good because you can just fire it off and, you know, yeah, this one here I don't think used an item. It was more stealing the item, and yeah, I think it was the only one that didn't use an item because it stole an item rather than, you know, use an item of its own. But I mean, whatever, that's fine. Go ahead and I get the item back at the end of the battle anyways, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like it's going to be of use to anyone. It's kind of interesting that they can steal the Mega Stones, though. I wonder if they can't do that after you've Mega Evolved. Normally they don't allow you to do something like that. They just, you know, because I can't remember. Because I think that it doesn't work with things like Trick and stuff, so I don't know. Maybe if it just directly steals an item because you don't have one, then maybe you can take it. But I don't know. That's weird. But I don't know. Again, I'm not entirely sure, but it'd be interesting if it suddenly got changed in like OmegaRuby and AlphaSapphire where you could actually trick over Mega Stones. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I mean, whatever, I guess. What I'm planning on doing with the Swablu, again, assuming that Swablu gets the Move Tutor move for Hyper Voice, I will probably be doing something along the lines of Dragon Pulse, Moon Blast, Hyper Voice, and Treecko Meteor as our final moveset for it. I'm not entirely sure though. I'll have to like triple check everything because I don't like the. Part of the reason why I have Moon Blast on here is because whenever I was playing through my AlphaSapphire, I wanted to have a fairy move regardless, and I had at least 2 different Megas on my team because I think I had also partnered up. Like I also had Latios with me the entire time as well, and whenever you get that, you get the Mega Stone for it as well, if I remember correctly. So I mean, I had like 2 Megas on my team the entire time, and yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I wanted that extra fairy move. So I don't know, I might end up removing Moon Blast or something from Altaria for OmegaRuby in favor of something else maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look. I don't even know if Altaria has any new like Move Tutor moves or anything in Generation 6 as opposed to any of the previous generations. But again, I'm going to have to look into it a little bit. Their movesets aren't entirely finalized yet. Some of them are going to be using moves temporarily until we get something better. For example, Swampert will end up replacing Water Gun with Surf when we get it in order to have a decent like water move at least, until we have access to the HM for Waterfall, which is basically one of the best physical water moves in the game. So I mean, like, there's not much that we can do about that until later, and having at least one decent special move, I guess, is fine. I mean, it's still stab, but it's not boosted really because of the, you know, I think it's a minus, yeah, either way, Jolly or Adamant, it's a minus special attack nature. So, I mean, it's not something that's favorable, I suppose, but I mean, whatever. Also, I mean, again, like I said before, they majorly use items and they give you that free hit. So Power Up Punch, usually at this point in the game, you're going to do at least half. And you can just follow up with whatever you have. If I was using Swampert, I could use something like, I don't know, Rock Slide or Bulldoze, and it would probably kill because you get that free turn of getting a +1 basically, and then you just have enough attack to just completely destroy everything. So again, Power Punch, I think I said this back when I got it, or mentioned that I got it, really useful later down the line, and by later down the line I meant right around now, because this entire gym is filled with nothing but normal types, and they allow you to basically set up turn 1. It's kind of like, okay, here you can get some free residual damage as well as use like a half of a sword's dance. So I mean, too good to, you know, really not pass up, or too good to pass up something like that. I mean, let's be real. But I don't know. I also guess I should mention this for anyone that might be interested in regards to L-Sword. This Wednesday, Astra, as in, you know, Ara's 3rd job change, her final path, is going to be completed. She got Little Spectre, I think, on the 17th, which was the first job change of her third path, and she will be getting her second job change on Wednesday, which is going to be, I think, the 31st. So something to kind of keep in mind in case you guys are like, if you actually play the game and you want to actually play this character. I'm sure that if anyone plays and has watched, they probably already got their Little Spectre and they may already be aware of it, but if they're not, then, you know, there's that. And if there's people that actually might enjoy the game, something to kind of look into. I do recommend trying Elsword at least once. There can obviously be better games, but it's also pretty fun. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for you to do even after you beat the story, so... But I guess I shouldn't continue going on about that, considering we are standing right in front of our father and about to take on the gym leader, who again obviously is our father. So Norman, the Petalburg City gym leader, the 5th gym leader, if I'm not off for some reason. His team consists of 2 Slakings. One of them is level 28, I believe. The other is level 30 as his ace, and I don't remember what the Vigoroth's level is. I think it was either 28 or 29. I don't remember it off the top of my head, of course. But, yeah, that's what his team consists of. The first Slaking likes to use Yawn. It will just continuously use Yawn. So it's kind of annoying, but you still get basically free setup on it as long as you have something that you can use to make your Pokemon wake up. We happen to have at least 10 Chesto Berries, so we're pretty much set on it. Not to mention that Truant gives you that, you know, opportunity to do whatever. Of course, you know, if I didn't, like, okay, if I were to actually fall asleep on the turn that he would activate Truant, like, okay, I fall asleep, then on the following turn when I would be able to choose a move or whatever, that turn he would like fall into Truant. That would be amazing. But yeah, and he ended up healing off the Slaking anyways, and if I'm not mistaken, his Power Punch doesn't kill. Yeah, but we still get another +1, and he goes for another Yawn. If I'm not mistaken, the next Power Punch actually kills, which causes him to bring in Vigoroth. Actually, I'm not sure. Was it Vigoroth? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But I'm not very good at doing that, obviously. But anyways, that's one Slaking down. We also get a free level up, which is pretty good. It's also in a way, I think, a little bit important. Swablu levels up to level 30. I believe it's level 35 that Swablu gets, or level 35 that it evolves. I don't remember when he gets Moonblast. And he did bring up Vigoroth. I wasn't mistaken on that. Okay. And it is level 28, so, I mean, there's that. Of course, since we're asleep, you know, Metang's just chilling there, snoozing away. We're going to have to give him a Chesto Berry and force him to wake up. And, of course, we get an Encore, which, believe it or not, I actually didn't pay attention while I was recording the gameplay, and I had thought that it might have worn off. So I tried to go for a Bullet Punch in like a minute or two. And I'm like, well, crap, I wanted to use Bullet Punch in case for some reason this Slaking somehow either A, outsped me, or B, you know, something like that. So I just wanted to use Bullet Punch for it, but I just couldn't because of obviously the Encore. It kept me into Power Up Punch. Like, literally, he lived with like 2 health, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I, like, as you see, I try to go for, you know, Bullet Punch, but I'm locked into Power Up Punch, so... I mean, whatever, that's fine. It still got the job done. I just didn't want to risk him like somehow outspeeding after that Retaliate or whatever and nearly killing me and then just using it again and then losing Metang, and I just didn't want to have to deal with that. But anyways, that would be the second Slaking down. After all these level ups, we will have obviously beaten the leader here, who is Norman, our father. We have surpassed you, father. Haha. See, this is something that I've kind of been iffy on ever since the games actually came out. He has very, very mixed feelings about you beating him. He's like, well, okay, my 10-year-old kid just, you know, kicked my ass, so how am I supposed to feel about this? And at the same time, he does feel happy about it, but at the same time, he also doesn't exactly like it. As he kind of mentions, he feels a bit frustrated as a gym leader that he lost, but at the same time, as a father, he's happy that, you know, you won. See, so he's like, I'm a little bit sad, but a little bit happy, etc. And I don't really, you know. And then you kind of see him, you know, grin. It's like, yep, let's go, you know. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. Anyways, after you beat him, you are taken outside with your father, of course, and you end up running into Wally and his father. And as thanks for something that you've done a long time ago, yeah, we are going to receive a gift from Wally's father, and that gift happens to be the HM for Surf, which means we are also able to, you know, surf over water now, all that other happy crap. And we kind of need it in order to progress through the story, of course, because Route 18 is the way that we connect to basically the next part of the game, which you have to surf across water to get to Route 118. So yeah, it's kind of mandatory. And I kind of like this a little bit. This is kind of cool. They kind of talk about their kids. He's like, I don't know, just seeing my kid grown up and all that, it makes me a little happy and a little sad. And of course, our father had literally just said the same thing. So it's kind of a little, you know, kind of a cool little banter between two fathers, which is, I don't know, it's kind of neat that they show something like that. But yeah, like I said, since we're almost out of time, of course, in the next episode, what we're definitely going to be doing is going up to Route 111 to check out the desert, of course, and then we're going to be heading over to Route 118 again and progressing through the story, of course. I don't know how long it's really going to take us to go through the desert. It shouldn't take us that long, but it's what we're going to be working on in the next episode. So, yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that if you haven't already. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.